As I and many others have said, that this election is very important, not the least because of Germany's big role globally, but also historically in emitting carbon. Germany could really lead the change here, has enormous opportunity, but above all responsibility to lead the way. But of course, it doesn't stop after the election. This is only the beginning. This is an opportunity to mobilize more people, because voting alone will not be enough. It's great to be here because there are global strikes happening all over the world, especially here in Germany because of the election. And I think it's important to, at least it's fun to be here. I mean, I don't know these people. I understand that many people are desperate, but we must not give up. We have to continue the fight, even though it might seem hopeless, because the situation is not hopeless. We can still change things.
Can we just say something, at least count till 10, something like
Alors, ce qui se passe aujourd'hui, c'est un ras-le-bol définitif de la pêche.
What's happening today is that the fishing industry is completely fed up. There was Brexit, Jersey, meshing rules, and now the wind farms, of course, which removes fishing zones from us, which will destroy everything, and I don't think the government realise it. It's not ecological at all. They have to stop with that. They're giving too much burden on artisanal fishing, and we can't handle it anymore.
Mais vous mettez à 500 mètres du bateau qui fort.
You put the wind farm 500 metres away from a fishing trawler that emits about 200 decibels. The fish will not survive. Nothing. No species, no shellfish, nothing. Nothing will survive. They will destroy everything. That's all they'll do. And I think for them, it's a game. Let's put the windmills in their area. That's fine. At least we'll reach our windmill quota to be competitive with other countries. That's all they'll do.
This was a scientific close call. In that situation, it was my call to make.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday backed a booster shot of the Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for Americans aged 65 and older, adults with underlying medical conditions, and adults in high-risk working and institutional settings. The decision by CDC Director Rochelle Walensky is aligned with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's authorization for a booster shot earlier this week, but goes against a CDC panel's recommendation for a narrower booster rollout. Walensky's decision paves the way for not only the elderly to get the booster shot, but also teachers, healthcare workers, and anyone in a high-risk job. President Joe Biden on Friday said the U.S. is ready to give out the dose.
We bought enough booster shots, and states and pharmacies, doctors' offices, and community health centers have been preparing to get shots in arms, booster shots in arms, for a while. And like your first and second shot, the booster shot is free and easily accessible.
Scientists have been divided over the need for booster shots for the COVID-19 vaccine, with some, including those from the FDA and the World Health Organization, saying there is inadequate evidence that they are needed by anyone other than older people. Pfizer and U.S. health officials have argued that the shots prevent hospitalizations and deaths, and that emerging data indicates they can slow mild infections as well. Walensky on Friday defended her decision to overrule her own agency's advisors, saying it was to protect healthcare and frontline workers and ensure equity.
Many of our frontline workers, essential workers, and those in congregate settings come from communities that have already been hardest hit.
Biden said people should not be taking their chances, and since he's older than 65, he'll be getting the booster.
I'll be getting my booster shot. It's hard to acknowledge I'm over 65, but I'll be getting my booster shot. It's a bear, isn't it? I tell you, acknowledge. Anyway, but all kidding aside, I'll be getting my booster shot. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do it, as soon as I can get it done.
Officials are still waiting on data from Moderna and Johnson & Johnson before recommending another dose of their vaccines.
Antonio Brito Alvarez has never seen anything like the devastation wrought by the Cumbre Vieja volcano. In his more than 50 years growing bananas on the Spanish island of La Palma in the Canaries, it has been spewing out molten rock and ash since Sunday, ruining the crop on his small plantation.
Mira, todo esto es quemado. Mira, esto es quemado. Esto es completamente quemado.
This is all burnt. This has been completely burnt by the heat and wind, and the same goes for that one over there. The bananas are completely burnt.
Completamente quemado.
Fruit that was spared the scorching heat has been spoiled by fine particles of hard volcanic dust, which chip away at the banana's skin, leaving it unsellable. Walls of black lava have been slowly ploughing westward, destroying homes, schools, churches and plantations just down the road from Alvarez's farm. So despite his ruined crop, he considers himself one of the lucky ones. Neither his plantation nor his home were engulfed. But he fears worse could come.
Si la lava sigue hacia abajo y llega al mar.
If the lava continues flowing and reaches the sea, the pipe goes below the soil. So if it reaches the sea, it would break the pipe, and that area will no longer be able to be watered.
Se dejaría de regar porque no se puede pasar el agua. Porque claro, al romper la tubería, al romper los canales.
If the pipe is broken, there's no water. If we stop watering that area below there, which is the best area in La Palma, the warmest, that would be a serious problem for La Palma. Very serious.
Es un problema serio aquí en La Palma, un problema muy grave.
La Palma receives far fewer visitors than nearby Tenerife or Gran Canaria, and depends on banana cultivation for about half its economic output. The volcano has endangered up to 5,000 jobs in banana production, the industry says. The island's steep, rugged terrain is ill-suited to automation, meaning farmers need daily access to care for their crops. But they've been barred from the area till next Tuesday to let emergency vehicles through.
An impromptu border camp was emptied of thousands of Haitian migrants Friday, with most remaining in the United States for now, and others expelled on deportation flights or returned to Mexico. This comes after images of U.S. border guards on horseback used reins like whips against Haitian migrants near their camp, sparked widespread outrage across the U.S. over the past week. Actions President Joe Biden condemned on Friday.
To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped, it's outrageous. I promise you those people will pay. There will be consequences. It's an embarrassment, but it's beyond an embarrassment. It's dangerous. It's wrong. It sends the wrong message around the world. It sends the wrong message at home. It's simply not who we are.
U.S. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said nearly 30,000 migrants had been encountered in Del Rio in the past 2 weeks. More than 12,000 will have a chance to make their case for protection before a U.S. immigration judge. An estimated 8,000 voluntarily returned to Mexico, and 2,000 were expelled to Haiti. The fate of others detained is to be decided. The Biden administration has faced backlash after the contentious use of expulsion flights back to Haiti. Mexico has also sought to bus and fly Haitians to its southern states, far from the U.S. border. The U.S. government in May extended temporary protection from deportation to Haitians in the United States, citing a political crisis, rights abuses, crime, and lack of access to food, water, and health care in the Western Hemisphere's poorest country.